So what we're gonna do here is we're taking all of our 2x4 pieces here, and I want them to end up going over top of T-posts. That way it'll hold in place, even though I will still be bracing it forward and backward just to help brace with the wind. But out where I am, we get a lot of wind. So my 2x4s are 71 and 70 inches depending on which one you grab. So I'm just gonna split the 70 inch one right in half at 35. Now we'll be using a circular saw to cut all these. And what's nice is these are not things that need to be super specific, so if I'm off a 1/16 of an inch or something like that, I'm really not that worried about it. It'll just make it look a little more beat up and rustic, and it'll be totally fine. I got all the nails out, and what we're gonna end up doing is when we get it all put together, we are gonna sand it really well. That way nobody's getting any splinters or anything like that. And then we will also be taking a torch to it and burning it to where it looks a little rougher and older. We might even stain it a little bit. I'm not 100% sure yet. We're gonna figure that out as we go. So what's good is now that I've cut this at 35 inches, I can actually take this and line it up right here on this other board. Get it to where they line up perfectly, and they should be good to go to where I can mark it, and then we'll be able to make it straight. What I am noticing now is that I did screw up, and if you look right here, this is a rough cut from before I grabbed this board, so it might be better for me to actually straighten that out and then use that as my measuring board. So now you can see I've straightened up that edge. I just used a circular saw to cut it. I kind of eyeballed it, I didn't even measure. I just took off this tiny little sliver. You can see the cut that I did is actually pretty smooth versus whatever they did there. Looks like they used an oscillating saw or something like that, just because they probably needed it for something around the farm as a quick fix. So now I'm going to use that as my measuring board. I will use the same board to measure all of them. That way I don't have to remeasure each time. But if you do switch which board and you're doing a project that takes a lot of boards, if you keep switching, they will tend to grow or shrink on you if you keep switching which board to use instead of just using your original one. So always a good tip to stick with whichever one you start with. All right, so you can see that I got those put together. I only did 2 screws, one at the top and one at the bottom on each side. When you look at it this way, this is what it should look like, hollow, and that's what's going to slide down my T-post. That way it holds it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. I will be building braces that go this way off of there, and what that'll do is it'll make it look like it's more substantial, and it will actually help a little bit with bracing. Like I said, we do have a ton of wind coming through here, so we want to make sure everything we do is held in place and not a risk of flying away or tipping over, especially while somebody's actually locked into it. All right, so here we are, guys. I've gotten the cross beam, that's the support attached. It is approximately 8 feet, and then it is about 35 inches tall. You can see I literally just drilled 4 screws into that, making sure to get into this board and this board without making sure I go into here so that we don't cause any problems when we try to put it on T-posts. Same thing on this side. You can kind of see down there is going to be T-post. Pretty much perfect. All right, I'll give you an update once we get the next steps done. So these boards are going to be used to make our new stockade. You can see they're pretty rough. They've got some dings and mess and all that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of nails in them. We'll get these all pulled out, and then we're going to get it all set up to where we can make it for the haunted house. And it should be pretty awesome by the time we're done. All right, so here you can see that I've got it set up. It is just propped up against this little light post over here, so it's not standing on its own yet. I am going to make some forward-backward bracing next. And then I do have to go to Menards and pick up some hinges for the ends. There's also going to be a few things that I do just for decoration, like here you can see in the middle there's a gap here. I'm probably actually going to put a board that just kind of covers that in the front and back, and that'll also stop it from warping so much. And then over down here, I'm actually going to put a flat 2x8, I think, and then have some corner bracing come up at a 45-degree angle. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that with 2x4s, 2x6s, or 4x4s yet. It kind of depends on what I find out in my wood pile. But yeah, keep posted and we'll keep updating things as we go. so far we're here. I haven't put the hinges on yet, but we want to test it and make sure that everything's lining up right. So, what do you think? Looking good? Definitely still need to sand the edges, but I think it's gonna work. All right, I'm John from Prairie Moon Farm, and today we're going to burn our stockade. I just picked this fun little toy up from Tractor Supply today. I'm actually mostly going to be using it for the weeds in the driveway, but we built this for the haunted house, and I just wanted to color it up a little bit more, give it more of an old texture, and I really didn't want to spend the time staining it, and this was way faster than that. So, you ever get a chance, you're going to be safe with it, I strongly suggest getting one of these. All right, John from Prairie Moon Farm, keep watching. We got a lot of stuff we're going to build for the new haunted house.